Did David swap bodies with Walter? One of the many questions left after watching Alien Covenant is whether or not David killed Walter, exchanged clothes, removed his hand and assumed Walter's identity to board the Covenant. Or, being that David and Walter are both androids, David somehow exchanged his consciousness with Walter and thus swapped bodies. There are a few things to consider when discussing this. Although we get a sense of time within the movie itself, nothing is ever explicitly stated as far as time frame between scenes. Realistically though, would David have had enough time to masquerade as Walter to ensure his plan came to fruition? We know David possesses a level of strength that's above humans. To remove his own hand would not be a problem at all, and he had a knife handy. The real issue with this stems from how the hand appeared, melted as if by acid. This is an aesthetic that is not easily created with a knife. However, David and Walter were battling in the Hall of Heads, the very same place where Captain Oram shot one of the Neomorphs. It's a stretch, but considering we are not aware of the actual time that transpired between scenes, David could have incapacitated Walter and made his way to the corpse of the Neomorph to burn off his hand. If David had enough time to do this, based on us, the audience, not being aware of the time that had passed, then another stretch is to assume that David had in fact the time to remove Walter's clothing and dress himself in them. Granted, these are notions that are fairly out there that I am asking you to consider. However, it's my belief that this is far more plausible than David exchanging consciousness with Walter, and I'll explain why. On the lead up to Alien Covenant's release, we were introduced to Walter in viral marketing, and you could even sign up to receive a Walter model. Within this marketing, it has been revealed that Walter had the ability to heal, regenerate himself to an extent. Clearly a hand is not something he was able to regenerate, but minor skin damage, cuts and abrasions are. David, at the end of the film, has very clear and visible cuts to his face, these needing aid from Daniels in the form of a sort of stitching. Now, this could merely be part of the regeneration process, the skin needing to be clipped together to allow it to bond and heal as a whole again. However, let's assume it isn't, as that is not how it was presented to us. Especially considering as David had over 8 hours on the Covenant before the closing scenes. If Walter's body did indeed have regenerative capabilities, then one could assume 8 hours would be below optimal and certainly not something you would market. David was not healing himself. If he had exchanged bodies with Walter, then this is something we very likely would have seen. Though this explanation actually condemns the movie even further, as this point really should have been a dead giveaway for Daniels in knowing that it wasn't Walter and was in fact David. It is my belief that David merely switched clothing with Walter and assumed his identity that way. I really like the idea he switched consciousness with his android brother, however, this would end up another unexplained story point. How would he? What did he use to achieve such a thing? Is this something all androids can do? If so, why have we not seen it before? If it isn't built into all androids, then why? Surely this is a very, very marketable feature. Your android is near expiration and you have another. You have become accustomed to this personality, therefore you wish to transfer it. To me, that seems like a very big selling point, and a company such as Weyland-Yutani would exploit it. But what do you guys think of this? It's been posed to me a lot recently and I didn't want to give out my opinion mainly as I wanted time to consider it first. I know this will go against many people's thoughts, but that's the beauty of films, which leave you asking questions. It sparks debate, and as long as they stay amicable, then it can be a healthy and positive discussion. So let me know what you think down below in the comments section, and if you did enjoy this video, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel for more in the future. If you think this video is worth it and you want to support the channel, then please head on over to my Patreon page, the link is in the description box. I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I'll catch you in the comments section.